So UFC 283 is taking place this weekend, and I just wanted to give a breakdown and a prediction of the main event: Glover Teixeira versus Jamahal Hill. It's a good fight, good matchup. Bit of a weird situation in the light heavyweight division, where obviously we just had a light heavyweight title fight with two completely different men. The champion who won the belt is unfortunately out of the division for a little while in Yuri Prohaska. So he relinquished the belt. Then you had a situation where two other contenders completely separate from this title fight fought for the belt. It was a draw. Neither of them got an opportunity, and the UFC made Glover Teixeira versus Jamahal Hill. Now, how you feel about that at this stage is kind of irrelevant. It's happening. Me personally, I don't know if Jamahal Hill earned a title shot. You know what I mean? His last win was Thiago Santos, who is just not looking good recently, right? He had a win over Johnny Walker, but that realistically could have gone either way. That was a razor close fight against Johnny Walker, who, he's chinny and he's a bit here or there, whether he wins or not. So I don't know if Jamahal Hill really deserves a title shot, but they gave him one. I would have preferred to see him fight someone like Anthony Smith, who he was scheduled to fight. But oh well, the fight got made. You know what I mean? Glover... I'm also in the camp that Glover didn't deserve an immediate rematch against Yuri in the first place when that fight was made, because let's be real, he just won the belt. I get that he's only got so many years as a fighter, but he just won the belt. It was his first defense. I know he was winning the fight, but ultimately he lost. I wasn't a huge fan of giving him that immediate rematch, but you know what? I'm okay with it. Glover's old. He probably won't get too many more opportunities to go for the belt. So, it's nice to give him another opportunity before he retires. I don't know if he'll stick around if he wins the belt, which will put the light heavyweight division in even more of a pickle, but he might stick around for at least maybe the Yuri fight, something like that, before he retires eventually, because he is quite old. I believe he's in his 40s now. But anyway, back to the fight at hand. Jamahal Hill versus Glover Teixeira. I think Glover Teixeira takes it. I think he wins back the belt here. I think he gets a submission. I feel like Jamahal Hill, since he fought Paul Craig, has not been tested against another grappler, really, right? He's fought pretty good grapplers. Jimmy Crute has a pretty underrated grappling game, but he KO'd Jimmy Crute pretty quickly. And then, obviously he had some other matchups. He beat Johnny Walker. You know what? He beat these guys who want to strike with him. And he's a good striker, he is, but at the same time, I feel like he does get hit sometimes, you know what I mean? Thiago Santos hit him with a few good punches. I don't see Glover really being able to hurt him badly, because I think he has a good chin, and he is reasonably defensively sound, especially for how much he hangs down in the pocket. He's got big power, so I can obviously see him getting it done. I can see Jamahal Hill getting a KO, but I'm just going to be honest, I don't really see it happening. I think it can happen. It's a potential, but I feel like Glover is tough enough and a veteran enough to avoid getting in exchanges with Jamahal Hill. But obviously Glover showed a bit of a lack of fight IQ for someone who's had as many fights and is as old as him in his fight against Yuri. You know what I mean? Like rocking Yuri, then jumping the worst guillotine in the goddamn world. Truly upsetting to watch that happen. When he jumped that guillotine in the 5th round, I wanted to goddamn, oh my god. Anyway, I think Glover is a good enough grappler to get Jamahal down. I think Jamahal Hill, he got taken down by Thiago Santos a decent amount. Paul Craig just straight up pulled guard against Jamahal Hill and got the armbar pretty much instantly when it went to the ground. I think Jamahal Hill showed that he gives up bad positions on the ground in that fight against... You can't take too much from the Paul Craig fight, right? Paul Craig pulled guard and pretty much instantly got that armbar, so you can take a little bit from it, but I'm not going to analyze it too deeply. But the Thiago Santos fight, and Thiago Santos is not really a guy who grapples with you, but Thiago Santos was able to take him down, and I think Jamahal Hill showed that he gives up bad positions on the ground, and, he was giving them up against Thiago Santos, not the best grappler ever, so I think it was okay there, but I think if he gives them up against Glover is going to find a submission. I'll go as far to pick the submission. I think it's going to be a rear naked choke. I can see Jamahal Hill giving up his back when he's trying to get to his feet. Glover jumping on a rear naked choke. I can really see that happening. That's a one of Glover's favorites, I think. So I can see him getting a rear naked choke. That's what I'm gonna pick. I think it'll happen in. I think the first round Jamahal will survive. I think Jamahal Hill will be able to strike in the first round and get up from takedowns. But I think second round, third round, we're going to see a submission for Glover. I'm going to go with second round submission for Glover. That's my verdict pick. If any of you guys have verdict, fun app. But yeah, I think that Glover gets it done by submission in the second round, and I think we'll have ourselves and new champion Glover Teixeira, and sometime we'll get that rematch with Yuri, possibly. Maybe a Jan Blachowicz rematch at some point, maybe, if Jan Blachowicz can get back there. I don't think the UFC will be jumping at the bit to give Blachowicz or Magomed Ankalaev another title shot anytime soon before they win another fight. But yeah, I think Glover gets it done by submission. Leave in the comments what you think, but maybe you think Jamahal Hill gets the knockout or something, which is a possibility. I just think Glover will be able to avoid it. So I'm going Glover with submission. Yep. See ya.